So the first question is regarding material wealth and desires to accrue material wealth. So of course, when you are living this material life and you are in the race, means you have to not only gain material wealth, do your businesses, but master says that you must improve yourself also. You must improvise. So you must become better and better with whatever work you are doing. So then, how do you decide when enough is enough? So important here is that why master gives such a advice that you must improvise in whatever you're doing, because once you improvise and better yourself, you develop certain faculties, like you increase your focus of mind, you increase your sincerity, you increase your hard work, you increase your unidirectional intention. So these are the qualities that also help you with spiritual success. So whoever is doing whatever should definitely try to improve their, including businesses, including money earning. But then one must also ask as to what is my highest goal. So if self-realization or moksha is not your goal in this life, or you don't even understand it and you don't even care for it, then you can earn as much money as you want and in whatever ways that you want. But always, such people will not even be bothered if there is even a law of karma, or if even they have to, retribution is going to happen. So these people are completely ignorant. And that's what Shiv Puran says. Shiv Puran says that if you think that the law of karma does not exist, and it is foolish, it is relatively wiser to know that the law of karma is definitely working. Now, if law of karma is working for sure, and here now you are in a situation where you do want self-realization, you do want moksha, then you will easily recognize that earning money is part of my journey. It is not my whole journey, that I needn't put my entire time, energy, intellectual faculties, investment, everything in it. And also and not only that, I am not also following dharmic principles. You would not never do that. You will have to follow dharmic principles because you want to reduce the amount of karma that you are accruing, because you want to transcend eventually all karma and go to self-realization. Now, I remember this story when Swamiji was alive and he was admitted in a hospital, and a doctor came to see him on his rounds, and of course the doctor talked to him about his medical issues. And after that discussion was over, the doctor said to him that, Swami, you talk about righteous living, but in such a day and age, how do you live without cutting corners? Because you have this fees has to be paid for your children, and you have desires that your children should go into good great colleges, and of course you want to have a great lavish living for yourself. Then how do you avoid cutting corners? And Swamiji gave a simple, factual, straight answer. And that answer is from the scriptures. The answer is Yata Dharma Tata Jaya. Means where there is dharma, there is victory. Now, if we cannot falsify this statement, we cannot go against the mathematics of this universe. Therefore, even if we want to have a lot of wealth, it has to be attained in a dharmic way. And a dharmic way would obviously mean that your business is not harming anybody in any way. And you are also taking care of the juniors or the employees that are under you. And you are doing your work with not only your intellect, but also with your heart. And whatever earning that you are gaining, you are also giving some charity out of it. So at every point, you have to be careful. Are you going against the law of the land? So again, you should not even go against the law of the land, because that is also adding more karma. Now, this is reminding me of a story from the Bible where, tax collectors are coming and Jesus is there and one of the disciples is there. And the disciple is asking Jesus what I must do, because anyway they don't have any way to earn money, and they have a few coins that have been donated to them, and the tax collector is right there and asking for money. And what is the answer of Jesus Christ to this disciple? He says, give unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar. Why this? Because it was the Roman Empire, and of course Caesar was kind of the king. So what belongs to the government must be given to the government. So that is what Jesus is saying. If this is the advice, now why is this an advice? Does Jesus want that you should not do well materially? No. but he wants you to do well spiritually. He wants you to be the real wealthy person. Having material wealth is being only very partially wealthy. The true wealth lies in recognizing who you are. The true wealth lies in knowing that I am the soul, that I am fulfilled already, that this entire universe already belongs to me. Everything in the universe belongs to me because I am the son of God. And whatever God has belongs to me. And also having the faith that whatever I will need in life, God will provide. You know, there's this beautiful affirmation by Yogananda. I go forth in perfect faith in the power of omnipresent good to bring me what I need when I need it. So when we have the goal of moksha in our mind, and then accordingly we have to organize our entire and or the rest of our life in that direction. If you do otherwise, then it's going to take you longer for freedom. And so if we want a shortcut, if we want a fast route, then we have to remember that yata dharma tata jaya. Where there is dharma, there is victory. It cannot be otherwise. So I hope that helps. Okay, so another question that came to me is very interesting. So this thought about calmness that we had posted on the group, and the thought says, how do no? The question is, how do I make ready myself to respond with calmness? So let us understand firstly how you attain calmness, and then secondly how to keep ready to respond to everything with calmness. So when we talk about calmness or we talk about restlessness, we are talking of a state of mind. So calmness versus restlessness. What is it that is producing this restlessness? There are multiple things happening. Now, if it is a state of mind at the level of the body, it is basically a result of certain neurotransmitters, certain chemicals, certain hormones interacting. So therefore, if you were able to harmonize these chemicals at the level of the body, you will be able to attain some level of calmness. So that means having a sattvic diet has its own importance. Then secondly, having enough sleep is important. And thirdly, regular exercise which works on the neurotransmitters, which it harmonizes or makes the feel good neurotransmitters more is important. So this is a building block. This is one important starting point which you cannot ignore. Don't think that if you can lead an unbalanced life physically, you can still attain calmness. You cannot. So that is only the first level. Now, the second level of restlessness can be controlled at the level of the breath. Therefore, doing deep breathing, especially breath like the diaphragmatic breath or the even count breath or the Nadi Shodhanam or the Anulom Vilom Pranayam, this will harmonize your breath. It will harmonize your prana. Therefore, it will have an effect on the state of your mind. The next level of control will be with the mind itself. Now, here again, you need to separate yourself from the state of the emotions and the mind, and you need to say, okay, I can watch that restlessness is arising in my mind. Therefore, you need to be very alert whenever you are losing your calm poise. Be aware that your body is getting restless or your mind is getting restless. Immediately counteract by bringing the body in the right posture, by harmonizing the breath, and by checking on the activities of the mind. Only then can you achieve some level of calmness. The true level of calmness is achieved only in meditation. Only by regularly practicing deep pranayams, only by regularly focusing at the spiritual eye, can you transcend thought and intellect. We just discussed in the shlokas previously, the only way to transcend mind and intellect is to go via, the agency of prana through the astral spine and through the point between the eyebrows. That is the shortest route. Therefore, regular meditation will help you to attain calmness. Now, the second question, how do I make myself ready to react calmly or respond calmly? So a very gross example is coming to my mind to compare this. Now, just think of let's say you want to tap on the underground water. So we know that many years earlier in Delhi, it was so easy to tap underground water that, 6 feet, 8 feet, 10 feet drilling down, you would be able to access the water. And now what is the situation of currently in Delhi, that you have to go down 600 feet. So compared to 6 feet, you have to go down 600 feet. What does this mean? That the water table has gone down. And because the water table under the earth has gone down, therefore accessing the water when you need it has become much, much, much more difficult. Now, same thing in your mind. Unless you have a calmness table in your foundation, unless you have developed a storehouse or a saving of calmness in yourself by regular meditation, you will not be able to access it when you need it on a daily basis. Therefore, if you want to stay calm all the time, or you want to use your calmness when you are responding and reacting to the world, your baseline level of calmness, your storehouse, your saving account of calmness must be increased by regular meditation. So again, we come back to meditation. Meditation will fill you with so much calmness that it will overflow into your daily life. That should be the situation. You yourself are the fountain of calmness. But because you are not meditating, because you are not trying to go beyond the regular thought process and mental processes, therefore you are not able to access this calmness. Therefore, if you meditate regularly, calm your senses, calm your mind, calm your breath, your level of calmness will rise like the water table under the earth, and then easily you will be able to access this. So to make yourself ready, be a warrior, in the sense meditate regularly, unceasingly. Okay. So do we have any other question, Captain Joy?
Om Guru to all. Dr. Radhika ji, we have one question. Question is, how can we use desire as a guide to proceed towards ambition, health, etc.? The absence of desire may make us lazy or even die, but too much of sensual experience is not good either. So, what is the right balance of worldly experiences?
Okay, that's a great question. So firstly, there is a difference between keeping a goal and managing your desires. So if we are all, since we are all spiritual seekers and truth seekers, let our goal be God realization and self-realization. And having that goal in mind and having a clear direction towards that goal, then it is okay to have simple desires. It's you do not have to be ambitionless. You can have desires for a good academic career. You can have desires for a good flourishing business. But the only thing is, you do it in the right way. You employ yourself into, you invest yourself into it. You have to do the tapasya for it. You have to bring in sincerity and your abilities to it. And you have never to forget what your real goal was. So don't just get enmeshed so much into desire that you really forget where you were going. It's like coming to a fair or a mela, where suppose we are going on the highway and we have to go, let's say from Delhi to Chandigarh we have to travel, and on the way we have dhabas and melas and a fair happening. We enter that fair is so beautiful and they're so colorful and so many things are happening. There are some rides happening, you can do some shopping. You get so engrossed with the colors and the fragrances, with the adventure that you're having, that you forget that your destination was something else. So nobody says don't go into the mela. Go into the mela. The mela is made for you. This world has been made for your experience. Consider it so. It has been made for you. But don't forget your goal. So have reasonable desires, have reasonable ambitions, work for them to the best of your capability, but never forget your goal. That is what we are trying to say here. And the middle path is always going to help you. For each person, the middle path may be slightly different. Okay. So for a person who is too much of a foodie, the middle path for him may be, having only 3 meals a day. For someone who's all the time eating, the middle path is having 3 meals a day. For a person who's already having 3 full meals a day, the middle path for that person will be coming to maybe 2 meals a day or maybe 1 meal a day. So this is going to be a little relative for each individual. And each one of us does have a separate prakriti as explained by the Gita. So let us, understand ourselves and then come to what is moderation from our point of view. And of course, there is a general level of moderation. We will understand once we are meditating regularly. It is very interesting that the body chemistry and the mental faculties also start to change when you are, meditating regularly. A regular meditator, once is, if he's approaching a food table, somehow feels the energy of the food and is able to know that what he should have, what he shouldn't have. And he's not always conquered by the senses that, okay, this tastes good, therefore I will go here. But the meditator somehow is able to moderate himself automatically. So when you talk about moderation, you don't have to beat yourself up to bring yourself to moderation. All you have to do is, if you meditate regularly and if you keep your goal in mind, your body, senses, mind and intellect will automatically bring you to moderation. Then you don't have to struggle so much. But if you are saying, let me avoid meditation and then let me intellectualize and bring myself to moderation, that is going to be difficult. Don't look for shortcuts. And also, when we meditate regularly, Master has the opportunity to guide us personally, because that is the time when we silence our mind, then the inner voice of conscience or the message of the Guru is easily heard at that time. And you will be told what to do, not to do, in the sense, not as a dictator, but you will be guided. And this prayer that Master has given, I will act, I will reason, but guide thou my reason, will, and activity to the right thing in everything. So give it your best, and God will take care of you. Have that faith that God is ever guiding you. He is always with you and He is always wanting your highest best. All you have to do is cooperate with Him. And cooperating with God means actually following the techniques and teachings of the Guru, which will help you to attune your frequency with the higher frequencies, and they will automatically take you to self-realization. Don't over-intellectualize the matter. Just be happy in the moment, do your best, pray to God, give your life to God, and do your meditation. Everything else will be taken care of. You don't have to make it a very complicated subject. Any other question?
There's one small clarification. Is eating onions, garlic, chocolates, and coffee part of Sattvic diet or not?
Okay. This is a correct question because every day we consume these things. Okay. So all that you have said, that is onion, garlic, chocolates, coffee, all of this is not sattvic. This is rajasic. And of course, sattvic diet is a completely different subject. It can take more than an hour of class. But just to simplify in simple words, all that activates our thinking process, makes us restless, is rajasic. And all vegetables that have a pungent smell, like garlic and onion, or they have that spicy element like peppers, they are supposed to be rajasic. So all fruits are going to be sattvic. Mostly all vegetables are sattvic, except for one category is the pungent ones. The other category is the vegetables which cause gas formation, and these can be different for different individuals. So these two category of vegetables are going to be rajasic and not sattvic. All nuts are sattvic. Milk and milk products in appropriate quantities are supposed to be sattvic. Whole foods, whole grains are supposed to be sattvic. And certain oils, like mustard oil, coconut oil, ghee, these are supposed to be sattvic. All other oils are less sattvic. And we can go into great detail, but I have just given you a rough outline as to what is sattvic. And all that irritates you, makes you restless, like tea, coffee, spices, pungent vegetables, restaurant food, all of that becomes rajasic. And all stale food, all red meat food, all that is, tinned and packed with preservatives, all of that is actually tamasic. So you should completely avoid. And what is the importance of food for a meditator? Very, very important. Why does a meditator need a sattvic food choice? Because the meditator is trying two things simultaneously. He is trying to be so alert and awake and yet not restless. So the meditator does not want to go to sleep. The meditator does not want to go into restlessness. The meditator wants to come to a steady poise. Now, tamasic foods will make you go to sleep, and rajasic foods will make you go into restlessness. And both of these have to be avoided if you want to achieve success in meditation. Therefore, try your best to stick to a sattvic diet. But because we are living in urban setup where our lifestyles are mixed sattvic and rajasic, therefore sometimes if you have to consume onion and you cannot avoid it, or garlic in little quantities, it is okay. But of course it's a choice. You may choose to completely avoid these things, or you may choose to have them in small quantities, but all the time be aware of what you are doing. And of course, our goal is self-realization. We will do whatever it takes to modify our outer habits so that we can achieve this goal in a faster and a more efficient way. So I hope that helps.